Hello, everybody. Psychic Soul Senses. This is going to be a pretty good post, I think. I feel it. The spirit is in this one. So, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to call it while we're recording. I hope everybody's having a good day. A lot of things have happened over the past few weeks. I got an orphan kitten I've been taking care of. I tried to do a live. I got kicked off, and I don't know what happened. But I'm new to this stuff, so as you can tell, I don't have high quality videos. I am going to practice and try. So anyways. In 2019, my husband passed away on March 22nd, 2019. The thing was, I knew that he was going to pass. I had a dream about it. It was a shared death dream. I had never experienced anything like that before in my life. But there was many things that led up to that dream, psychic things that had happened to me throughout my life that I couldn't explain. So it wasn't unusual, right? I've astro projected, thought it was normal, thought everybody did it. So this dream, in this dream, a hooded woman comes up to the both of us. And she says, I have a love story to tell you. And so we follow her into this room. And it's a huge room, right? And there's a bunch of chairs. And we're like, where are we? What are we doing? So I look and I see this little casket up at the front of the room. And I'm like, Derek, we're at a funeral. So we sit down so we could, check it out further. All of a sudden, this marquee starts going across the wall, and it has his name on it. And I'm in shock. Like, oh my God, we're at your funeral. And he was like, I don't care. I'm not afraid to die. He was like that. That's exactly how he was. And I got out of the dream. Now, I have practiced lucid dreaming. So I can control my dreams. I realize when it's not right. And how you do that is every day you ask yourself throughout the day, is this real? Am I dreaming? Is this real? Am I dreaming? And eventually, in your dreams, when something crazy happens, you'll be like, is this real? And then you realize you're dreaming and you can control it. So I left. The very next morning, I got up and I started packing my bags. I was scared because I knew it was going to happen. He was like, hey, why don't you come in here and we'll talk about it. And I was like, there's nothing to talk about. I had a dream that you had died and I was at your funeral. And he froze. Like he froze in his spot. And looked at me and was like, are you serious? I had the same dream. Now, we always felt each other, so I could feel him when he was coming home. I would know he's on his way home, but I would know the minute he got to the door because I would feel him, and then he would touch the door and come in. Same with me. We were connected like that, so it wasn't hard to believe, and he knew about some strange things that happened while we were together. One time I touched this light bulb and it was off, like the light was off, but I touched the light bulb and the light lit up. And at that very moment, I was explaining to someone about the energy in our body. Okay, and that's when I touched it. And it did that. And he was like, okay, Krista, that's enough. I left him and I came home. Now, the reason I left, he was using drugs, he was doing stuff. I don't do that stuff. I'm not doing that stuff. And I didn't want to sit and watch him kill himself because I was afraid that the drugs that he was using is what was going to take him down, right? So, this was in November. January the 4th, during this time that we're apart, between then and January the 4th of 2019, I'm practicing chakra energy. I've been watching Gaia. I've been meditating because I always was close to a higher soul or spirit, but I didn't accept God, like the version of Christianity's God. I didn't accept that. It didn't match with me. It didn't fit with me. Something was never right with it. I never felt like I belonged here. I'm not from here. That's how I've always felt, out of place. So I'm working on all this stuff, and January the 4th rolls around, and I ask specifically for a meditation to connect me to my oversoul. My energy body's lighting up just talking about this. I turn on Gaia and I watch Missing Links with Greg Brady. You gotta watch it. It is good. One of the episodes in his last season, I think it was like season 6. If he has that many, whatever, it's last season. Towards the end, like 12 or 13th video, he talks about how you raise your heart consciousness up, you raise your heart up, your heart frequency, how much you love someone or something. That love frequency is what source is. That's what God is. That's what our Creator is an ultimate loving source. Okay, so you imagine that love in your heart. Oh, I feel it, and you pull it up, and you feel it. And you can use imagery like green, spin green. Ooh, it showers your body with this love frequency when you do it. Focus on your breath. So I had been doing this. Now, Greg Braden said you can use animals too, right? And so you project your energy with your right hand. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, it would be your left hand. But your hand that you use, that's your energy hand. Okay, so he said I would shoot that love down into the animal, right? And the animal would help me connect to source. I did it. I did it. I thought I was losing my mind. And it worked. So I go out, and this cat's coming down the hill, and I shoot him that love. I got that love built up. I'd been meditating for like 15 minutes and had that love flowing. I had done my gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful for this universe. Ooh, I'm so grateful for all its magnificence, the divine beauty in it. And I go outside and I put that love in that cat, and that cat started communicating with me. And I felt like it kind of like it almost threw me out of my meditative state at first, because I was like, whoa, this is what Dr. Doolittle, this was real. Like, our little fairy tales are actually real. We used to be hunter-gatherers. We wandered the earth. We followed the herds. Why wouldn't we communicate with animals? Duh. It's even, I mean, so. Woo, that energy. The cat led me up the hill. He took me up a deer trail, actually. The hill was steep, so he takes me up the long way up to this rock. And I'm like, what do I do now? And he said, sit down and pull the energy up. So that's another thing. When you're meditating and you're putting your feet in the earth, you pull that energy up through your chakras. And you circulate it around and around. And you do it like this, like, because we are a tortoise field. We are the Merkaba. And so he's like, pull the energy up from the rock, touch the tree, pull the energy from the tree to the tree, pull the tree. That's another thing. We are males and females. We naturally push and pull each other's chakras during communication. Okay, so or we do it naturally, then we are going to do it right in nature. And we have 9 to 5, working that 9 to 5. Hey, we've been trained to get away from nature, our true connection to source. Okay, so we have been manipulated, brainwashed, mind controlled, indoctrinated. So I sit down, and all of a sudden, like, the lighting changes and everything changes, and I hear a female voice. And I'm like, oh my, the love I feel, it's amazing. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. God is a female. God's a female. And then I hear a male's voice. And then that's when it clicked. We are male and female essence. So we used to be a balanced human with both energies. Our complete soul spark is male and female. In this dual reality, they have taken that from us, and it's kept us from ascending back to our source or having that connection, right? Plus their indoctrination of their false Christianity worship crap. You can probably tell I don't fit well in Christianity, and that my Christian family thinks I'm the devil. I'm the bad person. But I'm not worshiping Satan. You know, they are. They were doing it all along and taught to and didn't even know. Kills me. So, I start learning that the chakras are the 7 seals. Okay? And the guy that comes in to talk to me, he tells me that, you know, Christ consciousness is coming into our reality, and that people are raising their frequency, their vibration. And that when you look on the, it's going to be my cover thing. You've probably seen it when you clicked on this video. The frequency waves of our feelings and our emotions. And it matches a color, which matches an area in our body. Okay, so if you have issues with relationships, you probably got gut problems. You know what I mean? You probably have constipation. You probably have heart issues. If your creativity is blocked, that is heartburn, indigestion, things like that. Kidney issues and stuff like that is the lower ones. You know what I mean? Thyroid up here. Not speaking your voice makes you feel like you got a frog in your throat when you're not true to yourself. So anyways, I'm learning all this and picking all this up, and that God figure tells me, or who I'm talking to tells me, that they are my oversoul, they are parts of me, and that they are my higher self, whatever, and that I am the same as them. And that that's what is going on now, that we are evolving and that my DNA is upgrading. And I never understood that until I started studying DNA and this stuff. One of my videos talks about how our DNA spin is masculine and feminine. And the masculine goes up and the feminine goes down, and it sparks off of each other, and one's RNA and one's DNA. And the RNA is the feminine, which works the left side of the brain, which raises your Christ consciousness, opens your Godhead. So, I'm finding all this out, and I'm told, because I'm like, why is this happening to me? What's going on here? Am I losing my mind? Am I going crazy? The voice tells me in 3 months I will have all the answers. Guess what happened in 3 months? My husband died. And he showed up. And when he showed up, my 18-month-old granddaughter seen him. And so did my 13-year-old son. And my other granddaughter, she's 10 now, but she's seen him later on. He stuck around for a little while. I'm glad that didn't stop it. Sorry. But anyways, he stuck around for a while. Like, she was scared. My granddaughter was scared to sleep with me because she's seen him right beside me, and she loved him. Like, she was like waving and the love. So when he showed up, he shot my astral body out of my body. And I'm floating above, and I'm like, wow. And he's telling me to keep that chakra, the energy, the yellow, right below, because you got red, orange, yellow, green. Look. Red down here in the base of your spine. Red. So red in the pelvic area, privates. Orange right about your navel, belly button. Yellow right here, yellow. Green, blue, fuchsia, indigo, whatever. And that's fuchsia. Actually, your crown is. Crown started tingling. All kinds of information started coming through. He told me the same thing that God had told me, which was relearn everything. Learn where we came from. Figure out where we've been so you know where we are going. And past lives started coming in. The thing is, before Derek showed up, he was at the funeral home for 7 days, and I kept seeing this iridescent circle when I meditated. And I had this little circle in it and these other little dots. And the crazy thing about that was I looked it up, and that's the depiction of the soul without a body in ancient Egypt and their hieroglyphs. Isn't that crazy? So, I wish I had a little board over here. I would show you guys the thing, what it looks like. I'll show you on the next video, because I'm getting ready to shoot another one separate from this one to explain some things. Like, for instance, I started learning that our reality is not real. It's real, of course. This is tangible. You can touch it. It's real. However, when you go and you look on the news and you see everything that's going on around us, that is not exactly how things are. That's programming at its finest. That's what I learned. And I learned, like, as I'm learning this stuff, okay, I'm thinking, we've been duped. We have totally been duped. And I feel angry about that, right? And to learn where we came from, I didn't go to the Bible. I've read the Bible before. Sorry, my ear's itching. I just washed my hair and it's all soft and like, I Can't do nothing with it when it's brand new. Everybody thinks I'm messy, but my hair's so curly that it frizzes. So, anyhow, I went to ancient books, okay? I started looking at, like, ancient tablets, like the Nag Hammadi scriptures, the Popaboo, there's more. The Emerald Tablets was another good one. The Living Chronicles of Jesus. The Mahabharata. That one was a good one. There's more. And the philosophies, of course, Plato. Another thing that really turned me around was Carl Jung. Because that's when I realized that they label us with chemical diseases that they're now admitting. Now they're admitting that it's just a label, that it's not a disease, that it's temporary, it's not a problem. Like, oh, you're paranoid schizophrenic. Okay, but that's really not what you are, and it can be fixed. But you're being told you can't be fixed, but with medication it can be managed. When it's a chemical imbalance and you can actually rewire your neurosensors, it takes 18 months. Okay, so if you think a certain thought every day, and you act on that thought every day, you're making a neurosensor and connections in your brain to that action every day. That's a habit. That's how you end up getting into auto mode, right? So if you want to change something about yourself, you write down what you want to change about, you read about it every day, and you act towards that every day. And you're rewiring a neurosensor in your brain for the new activity, for the new thoughts, and for the new beliefs. A belief is a neurosensor in your brain, basically. So things can change, okay? I'm going to stop this video. It is on 22 minutes and 22 seconds is how it's going to end. I hope you guys got information from this and enjoy.